school board meeting. First thing is recognition.
We have one recognition tonight. Mr. Patterson, will you please introduce him?
Yes, proud to introduce Morgan Glimsler. I met Morgan as a student when she came through the high school and had her in class. And things weren't always easy back then. And she hung in there and worked hard and finished with us. And so I was walking through the cafeteria, we'll fast forward, at Granby one day, and I look up and there's OPA employee Morgan. And I hear the Mr. Patterson. And so I ran over to her and got to hug her, and we started talking, and she's, can you believe it? I work here, I went to school here, and I work here now. Smile all the way across her face. And she really does embody, I believe, what her Patriot Pride Award is about. She loves this district. She is always smiling at our students when they come through. And you know, that's a tough, those little guys coming through there trying to get their food and get it all correct and get it straight, and she's always helpful. If staff needs something, she goes, let me get it for you. She makes our staff feel like, hey, you're busy in the classroom. This is just 25 minutes of downtime. Let me get it for you. Let me help you. And she brought me, I didn't get to eat one day, and she even brought, I wasn't going to say that, but she brought me my lunch in a plastic container with a happy face on it, and I took all kinds of heckling from Mr. Kirby about that. But yeah, but she's just one of those people, always smiling, proud to be an East Newton Patriot, and I think that's what embodies the Patriot Pride Award. Also, she entered a recipe contest. I'll let
OPA has
you.
their recipe contest for all of OPA land, and she received first at districts. So we had 5 entries between our 3 kitchens. She got first, so that we took that to regionals yesterday, and she got 3rd there. So that was mostly Oklahoma schools were the other participants in our region. So that was great.
Yeah, what was the recipe?
Yeah, why did you
I
make it?
can- We call it Cheesy Southwest Chicken Skillet. It's rotini pasta, JTM cheese sauce, Tyson's pulled chicken, and then 2 cans of Rotel.
Well, we'll expect that
Salt.
next month.
That's right. You're gonna have a award-winning recipe.
Awesome.
Yep.
It's good.
And I know you guys have your thing for her, but she doesn't know this, but we got a shirt for her.
That's cute. Oh, I like that shirt.
It'll be the envy of the community. Where the spirit is, yes.
I'm
I'm gonna
excited.
come up here and we'll give this to you and get a picture.
Back up a little bit. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. I'm gonna go get a frame. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Patterson.
Jeff, did you want a picture?
Do
Morgan,
more.
did you want a picture?
You got a second? Yeah. Someone will take this in.
Yeah, yeah.
That'd be great. I want to get my picture with her.
Okay. Do it before I cry.
I do.
Here.
Here we go.
1, 2.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff. We appreciate you, Morgan.
Thank you. Tell Shauna I said hi.
I need a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Two motions in 1 second. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
And public comment? Okay. I need a motion to approve the consent agenda, which includes the minutes, bills, and substitute list, and distribution of the 2018A policy changes.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All right, any discussion?
When are these copies, will that be, we have like 2 readings on it?
Yeah, or if you read through them and it's just, you know, we can always do it sooner.
Okay.
I'm sorry, who was the motion?
Judy. Judy on that.
And 7-0.
Yes.
Program evaluations, technology.
Mr. Reinhardt.
Hello. I think you guys have this, correct? All right, I'll get some of it. Just infrastructure-wise, we've had a lot of changes from last year to now. We did install the phone system, which is a little bit different setup. We have that now, basically use our own system at the high school for that. It's IP phones, and kind of have our own network just for our phones there. So that's a little bit of a different thing that we have done. Infrastructure-wise, that really is the biggest change we had from last year to this. Equipment-wise, we replaced a few laptop carts, one at least at each campus, 2 at the high school. And then throughout the year, we replace hardware as necessary in the classrooms. A lot of that's just when they fail type of thing, smart boards, projectors, document cameras. We try to basically maintain a consistent setup for each classroom. So those aren't on schedule as much as the machines. We did transition our email to a new email domain as well. So it's at eastnewton.org now. It's not the long one that I'll never be able to get on my brain. Say it on the phone about 1,000 times. So we did that as well. We switched all the teachers over to that. This year, or kind of currently, some of the changes that are coming, we are evaluating several things, internet connection being one, the email, again, being another. Not that we will have to change the domain, but we'll have to change our host, a little bit of a different thing. Try to keep that as a priority, to keep our app eastnewton.org, and it shouldn't be a problem. And also our website will be hosted by someone else. And occasionally,
We're doing all that because Morenet is getting out of that business, so we have to transition to a different.
on the web, on the email part, yes.
Right.
And then the website, different company, same story.
Is that what's still for?
The email note is with, email's with Morenet. The website's with Edline, it's just a different company. It was purchased by Blackboard, and they stopped servicing Edline, so we had to change
How
it.
come you guys don't email school?
Say again?
I said, how's that, Matt?
Oh.
How come you haven't been-
Yeah, actually, they don't want to host email. It's not profitable. So, yeah. I did check.
But they do have the fiber.
Yeah, that's a whole, yeah, that part is different. That we have been working with on that, but the email is a separate animal.
Good.
It does happen with schools pretty often. It doesn't always happen where they do it at the same time. That's just good luck on our part, I guess, so. We will continue our laptop refresh. We're basically replacing the original laptops we had in the student carts. Really much better this year, the ones we replaced last year, and we'll continue to do that until we get through them all. Possibly we will this spring, hopefully, replace all of our original laptop carts. So a little bit bigger, much faster. I think the students have been pretty pleased, and teachers as well. It speeds everything up for them, makes it a lot easier to function when they're even in the class. So,
How many of those did we have?
how many carts?
Laptops, carts and laptops.
Carts, we have 4 at the high school and 3 at each grade school.
Okay.
And of course, we have some labs still, but
Are you replacing those just so many a year?
yeah,
Then-
and not really a set amount. It really comes down to the money at the end of the year, kind of. But yeah, we have a rotation where we try to replace. It used to just be the labs. We tried to make sure we replaced the labs because we didn't have laptop carts. But now it's more laptop carts than we replace the labs as well. This year we also will start with teacher machines. We'll replace the first wave of laptops that the teachers got. So we kind of do that by series and by age.
Okay.
So that's all I got. Any other questions?
Infrastructure wise, we're still in pretty good shape, still in very good shape, so that's the big thing to take out of it, is that Marty and his crew do a good job of keeping us up and staying on budget and getting new machines, so we are infrastructure wise in great shape.
No viruses, right?
That's the hope. Every day's different, but yeah, pretty strong. We have good antivirus, good filter.
Just a personal complaint. I'm still having trouble getting emails from Mr. Mitchell. So I don't know where they're going.
You Crowder?
Yeah.
We've had that weird thing. Every now and then we have an issue with Crowder.
You do?
Yep.
They're not in my spam. I've looked. I don't know where they're going.
I'm sending them to you, I promise.
Yeah, I
We gotta
know.
get you a Gmail
Like,
account.
they work for, well,
Right.
that's where you send them to.
Okay, I don't know.
So.
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Well,
All right, we'll look at
You want
it.
me to start forwarding to
I
you?
know. Yeah, you can. Let's see.
I'll just forward them to you.
What is yours, Terry?
I'm not sure.
What is it?
It's Terry R. Clarkson. Or Gmail.
Terry R. Carson.
Uh-huh.
I'll send you one just to see what happens.
Okay. Appreciate it.
If I can send it, you should be able to figure it out.
Okay, thanks. Appreciate it. I'll look for that.
Okay.
Well, we're on spring break, so.
He
Alright,
doesn't
check
look,
tomorrow.
he
Sorry.
doesn't look his email evidently.
Yeah,
You don't get on your phone?
Oh,
Thanks,
I do,
sir.
but not very often.
Any questions?
And that's
I
why
mean-
we have those, not just for
You
pictures.
He's
Not
not
just for
into
technology,
You
in
push
other
a
words.
button, your email comes up.
Does it?
You can
Yes.
take pictures of it, it's amazing.
That forces me to work on my downtime.
Thanks.
No, you just.
Thanks.
Thank you, thank you. Love a class.
Thank you,
I
Marty.
need a motion, I need a motion to approve the evaluation.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So. All right, superintendent report.
We have a couple events, just so you're aware. April 12th, Granby and Triway are doing a new program called Are You Smarter Than a Map Tester? And really what it's gonna be is, they're inviting all the parents in on our map testing grade levels, gonna feed them a little bit of dinner and just have their kids walk them through what a map test is. So the parents can see what the kids do and what they've learned and how they're prepared for it. And, really, it'll be a pretty fun thing. The parents will get to come in and actually answer a map test question, like the kids will answer, and their kids are gonna walk them through on how to do it. So our students are gonna teach their parents how to answer these questions.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So, and one of the offshoots of it is to help the parents understand that, yes, it's important, and yes, please have your kids prepared for it and ready to go, and encourage them to get some sleep the night before, and,
Just like they do.
yeah.
And it's
So-
extremely hard too.
Yeah, so it's just one little thing to try and help, and then give a little awareness to the parents of what the kids do, and what the tests look like.
What time does that start?
I'm not sure.
Maybe around
At
6,
5:30, I think, is when they're both planning on starting. And they had picked different days, but then it came down to, there was a scheduling conflict at Granby, so they went back to the April 12th day. April 14th is prom, so that's coming up.
Where are they having that at?
What's the name of it?
Someplace nice. and
Someplace
dressed
nice.
to be
Oh,
Oh, yeah, that's right, I remember.
No,
I
they
knew
double
that.
booked,
Yeah.
so we lost the civic center.
No.
But that someplace nice is really nice.
Yeah, it'll be
Yeah.
fun for them.
Yeah, that is, yeah.
We had a banquet out there, Campbell
Out the
Hatfield,
country.
the Edward Jones Advisory Milk Show.
Mhm.
It's out, Peter East,
You turn
Next report.
Is it in the middle of nowhere?
No, we're at enrollment.
No, okay,
Enrollment.
Shepherd.
Oh,
okay, okay.
As of this morning, our enrollment is 1304. I updated it this morning, so our enrollment's 1304. We are staying fairly consistent for October, November, December, January, February. That is a good thing. Hopefully, we're gonna level out and not have massive increases or decreases. So we've been very good there so far. The good thing about that is that helps us as we go forward in our state funding. If we can stay consistent and not have drops, then that gives us a little bit more consistency in our state funding. So that's the challenge for us being a formula-driven district, that any change, any small to medium change, it can affect us. So as long as we're staying pretty steady, that's a good thing. So an attendance rate is currently 90, whoops, wrong button. Boy, I got crazy there. 94.2, which is still about a half percentage point better than we were last year at this time.
Even with all this flu going around.
Is it about long, the flu?
We have, I
It's-
don't
It's
know.
fine if anything. Yeah,
Okay.
it seems to be, it's not crazy.
Financial report, beginning of the month, you can see we had $4 million in the bank, and now we have 3.8. So you'll see that we are that's what, cash on hand that we have in our checking account. So you'll see that our, we got the big influx in December, January like we thought we would, and now we will deficit spend throughout the rest of the year. That should, because our bills are higher than the money we get coming in from the state, which is normal. This is what we normally do, so it's not, don't be alarmed, it's what we do. As you can tell, we're still $1.3 million ahead. So as we look towards the end of the year, remember, we only have 3 more months of bills left. So we should, if all goes well and projections look right, we may not be as bad financially as it looked earlier in the year. Things are looking not rosy, but better than we had anticipated, so that's a good thing. continuing with the things I've been doing, the new, Facebook, what's it called? Our new, guidepost as we go along. If you see, we're, currently from last year, these numbers right here, last year to this year in revenue, we are $514,000 behind where we were last year. Don't panic. And, expenditures were about $21,000 higher this year than last year. Don't panic. Currently, we have not received a little $360,000 in sped money that we had this time last year, and federal monies we haven't received as well. The payment is different this year. We haven't requested the money to get it back and get reimbursed for it, and so it looks like we're in horrible shape, being $514,000.
But if you add that up, we're not.
You add that up, we're actually ahead, but remember, we pay 3 months worth of,
Insurance.
3 months worth of payroll in June. So that $500,000 it won't be near that high, but we are currently ahead revenue-wise than we were last year sometimes it's an if we get all that money.
Okay, this special ed money, what is the story on that? You said the Fed, we didn't request it.
We've requested the money, we just haven't been reimbursed. We have to send in a monthly or bi-monthly
Yep.
kind of thing, we just haven't been reimbursed for it yet.
Okay, and that's both of these?
Both of those,
Okay.
yep. So, the Fed comes every month, so we've already received a lot of it, but the state special ed funding only comes once we've requested it, and we can't request it until we've paid for it. So it's a total reimbursement thing,
Yep.
so. We anticipate getting that money, but you never know, so. Actually, I wanted to point out, I took out the bonds so you could get a better look of where we are financially, what we're spending and our revenue and our expenditures. If you look at our expenditures, it's almost flat, which is a good thing. That means we're staying consistent with what we're paying from year to year. So we don't have any major jumps, is what that's about. And that big dip there is that money right there, which is that money right there.
Makes sense.
Yep, hopefully it does. Labor costs, we're down in teacher funds, but still about even in Fund 1, or Fund 1 paying for salaries out of Fund 1. And again, that's because 2 years ago, had to pull, the state forced us to take all the paras out of Fund 2 and put them in Fund 1. So that's why there's a major dip there, and this has gone up, because we had to change those salaries from Fund 1 to Fund 2 to Fund 1. It's just a big bookkeeping, it's all the same money, it just shows it as an entry in a bookkeeping thing. We are still about $66,000 ahead on transportation from last year.
And that's due to the 4-day.
Yeah, that has a lot to do with the 4-day, yep. We're saving, that's a lot of fuel cost savings, and some salary savings. If you can look right here, we're, year-to-date, $39,000 in fuel, and last year-to-date was $53,000. So that's a savings of about 25%. And labor, this time last year, we'd spent $312, this time this year, we spent $276, so there's our big savings.
And then supplies.
Supplies, yeah,
But we still have to buy more.
yeah, so that's not a, don't think that one's a good one, because that's gonna go away. Because we still have to buy some supplies for transportation. So-
Is that, what is that, tires,
Yeah, whatever.
carts?
Yeah.
sort of thing? Okay.
Yeah, things,
Starter-
whatever they
starter
need to keep the
goes
buses
out.
running, yeah, so.
Starter goes out.
Sorry, go ahead.
And on that note, we had a car back into one of our buses last week. So we got a bus with a big ouchie on it, and we can't take it out of commission to get it repaired because we have to have it. So it'll be July when the ouchie is repaired. So if somebody says, what happened to the bus? You can say, when we can't take it out of rotation.
Did they have insurance?
Well,
Yes.
was it parked?
Yeah, it was parked. The bus was parked, somebody backed into it. So, and we've got all the insurance, but we just can't take it out of commission because we gotta have to use it. And they can't fix it in a day, so it'll have to be till July. So if you see one of the buses rolling in with a dent in it, that's why.
So what do we do if we have a bus that goes out? We have no extra buses.
Currently, no, one is on,
Okay.
but that we have extra buses, just one of them's down for repairs.
Oh, okay,
So,
okay. Oh.
yep,
I mean, we don't need 4 or 5 sitting around.
no.
One would
Nope.
be nice, or 2. Okay, fair enough.
Utilities month to date versus last month to date, that's all heating. If you look at trash and foam, they're almost identical, but it's all in heat. And then we are about $15,000, $14,000 more this month, or this year compared to last year, and that's all heating costs.
When it was colder.
Yeah, it's colder this year than it was
Was
last
that
year.
43 or 40?
That's 33.
I can't see the
The
numbers.
top says 33 and then 34.
Oh,
You're gonna have to make these a little bigger.
Well, they're all down here too. It's the same
Yeah.
numbers.
Alright.
we
I
can't
can't make it too much bigger and fit it on the page.
And that's the propane right there is
Yeah.
33.
It's nothing that's shocking.
And we locked the propane price in, so it's not like,
Yeah, this is nothing that's shocking. We've got it in the budget to cover it, so.
Old business.
That's me, operations report. Sorry.
that's Rusty's operations.
All right, me and Dr. Mitchell have been looking at some items, safety. One big one was is an SRO, school resource officer. Dr. Mitchell went to Newton County and talked to Sheriff Jennings and Chief Deputy, forget his name now. Anyway,
Real big dude. That's what really large young guy.
Yeller, Yeller. And they gave us a price of what it cost to have a SRO, one SRO for 9 months. And it's $34,839.73. They would pick up the other 3 months. They would also, if the commissioners agreed to it, would take care of the equipment, the car. So that's something right there. We've looked into, some other things we've looked into there is that each campus, at the secretary stations, and each campus has 2 secretary stations. You put a panic button that would go right to 911, and then you could also have another button that would lock all the doors that were lockable. That means said that they'd have to have access control to be lockable. So, another thing we looked at was safety film and putting safety film on the main entrances. And what that would do is someone tried to break the glass because the doors were locked, it would take a little bit longer. The videos you can go on, and if you look at, it's a 3M product.
It's hard to beat through.
Yeah, it'll take 40 seconds. You think, well, 40 seconds take that long? Well, 40 seconds is a long time if you're getting out somewhere. If you're,
I mean, that's hitting it with the hard too.
yeah. That's after shooting it a couple times with a gun and then trying to bust through. And another thing that the K1 Hall at Granby, those interior doors are a Hall of 4 doors. Looking at replacing those with a solid core door. Those are some things we're looking at.
Which doors?
The K1 hallway, the old,
Okay, okay.
yeah, the east hall.
The idea was just, and you've heard it called hardening your facilities, and that's what this would be doing, is just make it a little bit safer, a little bit more difficult for a bad person to do something bad. And that's the idea.
Hey Rusty, what was the cost on those, on the safety glass, putting the
Film.
films
For the entrances, the grand total will be about $6,200.
for all 3 campuses?
All 3 campuses, yeah.
And what did you say was the cost of an officer?
An officer's
That's an
34.
actual,
You say 35, shy of 35, yeah.
Per campus.
well,
No, officer,
well,
One officer.
just be one
part of the.
officer.
Right,
part
well,
of
that's
the-
35 per
part of the
campus. We have to,
response,
you're not gonna
some
get,
people
you're not
just
gonna have
said
one
others
at
don't,
each.
that it's
No.
something that you
Yeah,
throw
just
them
one
on the
officer.
book and then you
Yeah,
run.
they would,
You distract and you run.
hour and a half, 3 hours at once.
That's part of the safety
Not have the
training.
same schedule. Yeah, you just have one officer.
No, not really, because you're
Well,
gonna,
they're already there to shoot.
it's a natural reaction to dodge something.
Equipment, so it wouldn't be out anything other than that, we would not have to pay.
They already
Am I
received-
correct, we would not have to pay any of his benefits or anything, that 34,000?
That would
That's our
be
cost.
included in
That's
That
the,
would be our cost.
That's just at the high school, right?
That
No,
would be
that
for
would be-
one.
it would
School
be shared
that'd
throughout
be
the
shared.
district.
Part of the plan would that be, they'd start, whoever it was, if we went with this plan, and it's all, this is all if now, because commission would have to approve it and all that. We'd have to approve it, and the commission would have to approve it, and then they'd have to hire somebody. So this
He's
is
being
all,
proactive, giving us.
yeah. That was the idea, to tell you that we, you know, what it would cost if we wanted to do this. And that is the total cost. That's all, we would employ them for 9 months, and then they'd go during the summer months, they'd work for Newton County as a street cop. So,
So that pays for his salary for that 9 months?
Yep.
He does.
and the idea would be that, one of the things we talked about with the sheriff was it'd be a 2 or 3 hours, start in one building, then be at lunch at one building, and then end the day at another building, and randomize that so it's not the same pattern each day. That way, and be seen, and one of the things we would ask is that they be seen for a couple hours at each building, every day.
That way they know.
Yep.
Yeah.
You never know when they're gonna be there, but we know he's going to be there at some point, or she.
So what's our plan, like in the mornings when we let the kids off the school bus and they go into their, is there one of our principals on site there when they get off to let them in, or they just get to go in whenever they want?
Talking about the high school?
Yeah.
Usually, I know at the high school, Mr. Jacobs is usually standing out front.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, at the grade schools, like, Mr. Cook is usually standing outside
There.
in the front door.
Usually.
Yeah,
That's
Mr.
one of the
Cook
things.
only
When
stands
I was a
on the-
building principal, I was
well,
at the superintendent, who
of
would
course
come
I did,
over
yeah.
and always be fired up that I wasn't where I was supposed to be. And he did it, it was always amazing. He'd be there on the day that I got called into the office.
Well,
It was
it's just-
unamazing, uncanny how he could do
Well,
that.
it's just funny because my wife went over there and she walked right in the building. And I'm just like, yeah, that shouldn't happen.
No.
You know?
Well, didn't you and Todd and Scott go up to Carl Junction and some lady let you all in?
Web City,
Oh, Whip City? Yeah.
as a student, and it happens. Probably what happened this morning, I don't know what time it was, but they dogged those doors open to let the students in. And the custodian then has to come back through, or somebody has to come back through and.
That's gonna be one of the challenges
Mm-hmm.
always.
But that's a little bit scary because nobody's looking at those kids coming in. They could,
And that-
one of their friends could come right with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's in every school in the
It's
United
every-
States.
I know, but
That's one of our bigger, I mean,
but if there's somebody there that knows the kids. then,
Right.
Like a principal or
Which your principal's already watching the doors, right, when they come in.
I know he's normally there.
yeah, every time I've been over there, he's been there.
Of course, like you said,
That's probably.
there's always a
30
fight will
times.
break out or something
Exactly,
happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The next item I was gonna visit with you guys about is some things to do, capital project this summer. We try to continue to keep our facilities doing the best ability that we can, and we did the track, what was it? Trying to remember what year we did the track. But it's, I think, on the 6th or 7th year, and we didn't do the structural spray coating on it, and it's something that needs to be done. It's gonna cost around $60,000, and I will.
Wow.
Yeah, I will bring that to you
To do
next
what?
month.
The
Structural spray coat. What it has is it's a base coat. What it's on there now, it's the, just pretty much ground up, tires. But if you just leave that on there, it'll eventually, it's gonna deteriorate.
And that's what happened to our last.
And this just,
And remember, if we don't do this now, within 2 years, we take the chance of having to totally rip it up and replace the whole thing, which is a lot more than $60,000.
Now, how much would it cost to extend that little walk track around the outside of the fence?
the walk track.
The little piece of.
Oh, asphalt?
Because people complain that they can't even walk side by side.
Yeah.
Oh,
Or a
expand.
wheelchair.
Oh, yeah.
A wheelchair.
And going around it,
I'd have to get a price on it.
you know, or take the fence down.
Yeah.
The fence is one thing that helps keep it in the shape that it is, and that's the Sam Fisher with Fisher Tracks, what he said, that for the amount of time we've had it, ours is in pretty good shape, and that's one reason. But yeah, we can take it down.
Were we told in the beginning that we didn't have to do that structural sealer to begin with?
Yeah,
Maybe
I
we
mean-
could wait a few years,
Yeah.
is that right? Okay. And that's what happened to the original track, was we never sealed
We
it,
never
right?
did it.
We didn't keep up with
We
it.
didn't keep up with
Yeah.
it.
Just like anything, there's
Yeah.
maintenance you gotta do to them.
Mm-hmm.
That won't have to go to
How long do
a-
they recommend it?
Well, he said the structural spray should last another 8 to 10 years once we put that on there. We won't have to put this out to bid because Ed Plus, Co-op, already does the bidding on this, so, and that's what they're part of that. So what I would do is next month, I'll just come to you and ask that we do this.
Would you look at that outside track thing though? and see-
I can, yeah. So you just want extended the asphalt walkway from this bleacher over to the,
Yeah, well, where
To
you
the,
come, where you come around to the bleachers, to the
what's
entrance.
existing,
Yeah.
existing.
Yeah, so you can walk 2 by 2 at
How
least.
wide is it?
It's only,
not very long.
it's wide enough for